Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Crabb, one half of the Grumpy Old Man Wrestling Podcast. Just wanted to leave a programming note. Shortly after recording this episode, we had the untimely passing of the wrestling great Bobby Eaton. Many of you know him as a member of the Midnight Express, later on with the Dangerous Alliance. He wrestled in Memphis as well, but anyway, we want to send our condolences to his family, friends, and fans of beautiful Bobby Eaton. And we will do so with a 10-bell salute before we start this program. Thank you. Welcome, and we're so glad that you're our friends. This is a friendship that'll never ever end. Welcome to the Grumpy Old Man Playhouse and Wrestling Podcast here in RTC Multimedia. Rick Crabb here, and joining me as always, our own Rambling Rabbit, Chris Filato.
Hello.
Chris, well, you know what? It's been a while since our last episode, but it's a good thing there hasn't been anything for us to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like AEW signing 2 world champions to upcoming pay-per-views. It's not like WWE has released 2 former world champions in pay-per-views. It's not like Nick Gage tried to make a pizza out of Chris Jericho and did it during a Domino's commercial with supposedly some corporate espionage. Apparently someone from WWE kind of called in that.
Why? I did not know that.
There are reports that a reporter who had done a lot of puff pieces for WWE, but never on anything on AEW until this happened. And a lot of people suspect that it was a plant from Vince that tipped off Domino's.
Well, if you noticed last night on Raw, we saw a lot of Domino's ads.
Yep.
We saw a shitload of Domino's ads last night. So money is bullshit, you know.
Brian Last from Jim Cornette's show had a brilliant idea what AEW should do.
Mm-hmm.
Who did what former basketball player did Cody Rhodes wrestle?
Shaq.
And what pizza chain is he affiliated with?
Domino's, right? Or
no, Papa John's. He
John's.
actually owns a few Papa John's chains.
Mm-hmm.
And he suggested that they have a scene at the beginning of Dynamite where a limo pulls up at Shaq bringing them Papa John's pizza.
Brilliant.
That was
Brilliant.
hilarious.
Brilliant. But
alright, so yeah, I mean, a lot of people have had your thoughts. I know you and I have been going back and forth about this. Alright, what's your take on any of those topics?
The news I got Saturday from a friend of ours that used to work
this is a couple weeks ago, so what news?
Last Saturday,
forget the timeline, Chris. What was the news?
Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
The news I got after I got off work is a friend of mine sent me a tweet from WWE saying they come to terms with the release of Bray Wyatt. And I was like, what the fucking hell? Like, you probably went, what the fucking hell?
Especially since, I mean, he sold a lot of merch for them.
That title belt, which was a couple grand, was selling.
They were selling that, and I mean, despite every effort to ruin that damn character between the idiotic Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins, between getting squashed by Goldberg,
the Randy Orton match,
by sending him in the Middle East to finally get the belt back from Mr. Becky Lynch, all right?
Yeah.
But, and then they basically transferred his gimmick to Alexa Bliss.
And poor Alexa, who had to privatize her Twitter because they were going after her. Which is none of her fault. This is none of her fault.
And what is it about the internet community? They have to go after the women that are tied into these things. I mean, we talked about that with Naomi and Uso. And now, but they won't. I mean, they won't.
They don't have the balls to go after a man. That's why.
Right. Well, they don't have the balls to go after a woman either to their face, but they'll do it on Twitter.
Yeah. Because everybody's a fucking keyboard warrior. That's why.
Yeah.
But they got rid of one of probably the most inventive minds in the business. Because from what I understand, everything we saw on television, or every iteration, was out of his head.
And God forbid anything good come from somebody else besides Mr. Burns.
Yeah. Like I said, it floored me. A lot of people around me that I talked to, it floored, including our former guest, Miss Bev. Bev was like, what?
Yeah.
I gave away all my WWE shirts. I gave them away.
Oh, okay.
I got rid of them. I gave them to my niece's boyfriend, and it's like, I can't do this anymore. I went to a mutual friend of ours, John, our former guest, to watch Raw last night just to gauge the crowd on Raw last night, and I was half watching it because I'm checking out because it's not Vince. Did you hear who gave him his walking papers? It was Laurinaitis. And what was the cause? What was
budget cuts?
Which they did an investment meeting last week, conference call saying they're doing record profits. Bullshit.
Well, they might be doing record profits
because they're cutting everybody.
But I mean, the budget cuts are bullshit. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Bray has a big money contract. Braun has a big money contract. Okay, fuck you, Vince.
It's pretty much reminded me of a scene in The Empire Strikes Back when Millennium Falcon's hiding in a asteroid field, and Han Solo is describing what the Star Destroyer is doing. He says, standard Imperial policy to dump all their garbage before they go to warp speed. That's what WWF is doing. They're dumping all their talent before they probably sell it off. And
They're consolidating.
Yeah, and they even said at the meeting, they were talking about, well, what do you think of AEW getting the talent? And said, well, maybe we can help them out with that some more. He wants them to go. I think what he's doing, he thinks if AEW keeps buying up all their former people, they might go broke. Kind of like with WCW and...
I was at Ruckus's house, a former MCW champion, Ruckus. He even said that. He says, "Look what he did to WCW. Gave him all those gave him all the WCW, and look what WCW turned into."
All right.
This is a different generation. The Bucks and Omega are not Hall, Nash, and Hogan. To an extent.
They want to be Hall, Nash, and Hogan, though. They think they are.
They think they are. They don't. I don't think they have the egos of those three.
Oh, bullshit! They have egos. God, if they had any more of a damn ego, they would be selling batteries for weed whackers. Come on. Especially over Utica. And the Bucks, they're just trying to be, don't get me started on those. Nah, not case.
But like I said, I agree. Do you agree with Ruckus? Do you think he's trying to bloat them up?
I think that's his strategy. I think this is a different scenario, though. I don't think Tony Khan is going to be Eazy-E, Eric Pitt.
Open the checkbook.
Although that kind of seems like what he's doing, but, I think what it is, his father, Wrath of Khan, Camilla Khan, whatever. Shere Khan, gave Tony his inheritance, and this is how he's spending it, so.
Well, not everybody is going to AEW. And I'll get to Homecoming in a little bit because there were some surprises on that.
Yeah.
Especially an old world-class name shows up.
World-class.
World-class. And I'll leave you at that.
All right.
A manager.
I was going to say it would have to... Wait a minute. manager. All right, okay. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that, yeah.
But I think it's interesting how the two companies have both bands chanting CM Punk for entirely different reasons.
Yeah, like I said, we watched Raw last night. They tried to hijack the show. Vince tried to pump in audio from other stuff, which they fucked up on, that I told you off air.
Right.
When Drew McIntyre showed up, they pumped in the crowd cheers, and you actually hear Michael Cole's voice saying 16-time former world champion.
When they were saying we want Flair.
We went Punk, yeah.
Or CM Punk. Well, I actually heard them say CM Punk a few times.
I heard them during the fucking Damian Priest Miz TV segment.
Of course.
Because it's Miz TV. Nobody gives a shit.
And they're doing typical Raw stuff, having the same matches back-to-back week.
Sean Ross Sapp, I was reading his Twitter last night from Fightful Select, says, another rematch. Who thought it? Wow. And I watched, going back to Bray, I watched his YouTube video Saturday or Sunday on Fightful Select. And he basically said, it made me think about Bray. He says, if you mentioned anything about his mental health, I will block you. So I do know Brody's death hit him hard. That's why we really haven't seen him that much.
Right.
If he does go where we think he's going to go, and have you done the math for his 90-day clause?
I heard about that. Yeah, it's
Friday, October 29th. Rampage, right before Halloween. Wouldn't that be perfect? Wouldn't that fucking be perfect?
Yeah.
That's if he stays in the business. The man's so creative, he could probably go into Hollywood and do write direct horror films.
He has connections with Savini and a bunch of other people.
Yeah, he can write and direct horror films.
Right.
I mean, the man is a creative genius when it comes up to fucking just horror gimmicks. Yeah, horror gimmicks.
Yeah.
But a lot of people saying, well, he goes there, he's going to beat Dark Order.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's disrespectful to Brody if he does that.
If he does it, out of respect to Brody, because he was so close to Brody.
I'd say feud with them. Start another group.
With Black?
Black would be good. Yeah, have those two as a tag team. That would be awesome.
Omega trios, and the third person will be a certain zombie girl.
That would be cool. Especially since you and I spoke off the air, well, or maybe I had heard on another show, Vince might have the copyright on Sister Abigail, so he probably wouldn't be able to bring her over.
Well, did you hear the original idea for Sister Abigail, who they originally wanted to bring over?
Who?
Rosemary. She would have been perfect.
Oh, yeah.
But she signed a contract extension to Impact. Like I said, the Bray Wyatt thing blew my mind. I mean, I can't do this. I'll still watch the shows for this show.
Right.
But other than that, I can't do anything else with Vince. I can't.
Yeah. Well, there are other ways you can find out. You can.
I mean, what did Wrestle Talk say? Buddy Murphy is watching the recap shows on Wrestle Talk because he thinks the product is garbage.
There you go.
He thinks the product is complete fucking garbage.
Well, speaking of garbage, and that's usually what they do to people when they let them go from there. What do you think about the end of the LA Knight Ric Flair feud for Car Sealed down because of...
Oh, yeah. From what I heard, Flair requested his release. He was uncomfortable with some of the storylines that were given him, especially the Lacey Evans.
Okay.
He was very uncomfortable about
I figured he'd be very comfortable with it.
Well, yeah, remember, he's now grandfather age. I think he's... the health scare he just had brought him down to earth. And he now knows that he's human. He's trying to lead a better life.
Okay.
And instead of being the party animal that he was, I think he's slowing down a lot in his age. He's making Car Show money. And if there's another 90-day clause, I say there's going to be a Horseman reunion on AEW.
And you could have the Forbidden Door, and you could have AEW being kumbaya with Impact and New Japan and the NWA. The NWA.
Hey. You almost said that, yes. Oh, there was a rumor there about that. Maybe Corgan will pony up some money for that.
Right.
Do you think Corgan has the money for Ric Flair?
He might.
He has that Smashing Pumpkin money to throw around.
Right.
Thing is, he's very shrewd about his money. He doesn't go around and get big names. You got JTG, Milena.
Yeah, I mean, he gets indie talent, and what I like about what he does with that, though, they stay consistent. Mm-hmm. Even when some people like Tyrus, who's had ridiculous gimmicks with Vince, they don't bring those gimmicks there. They just come and
He was like that. Tyrus was like that in Impact.
He was probably like that everywhere except for McMahon Land.
And he was basically he like a bodyguard to EC3 in Impact.
Yeah.
And he was a killer.
Yeah, he's a killer now.
Yeah. I still like a couple weeks ago I saw him just put his hands on top of whoever the interview guy is.
For NWA.
Yeah, for NWA. He looks like he's palming a bowling ball.
He looked like Baron Von Raschke with his claw.
Yeah. I thought he was going to pick him up by his head.
Yeah.
But the Ric Flair release, didn't see coming. Really didn't see the Bray Wyatt coming. And like I said, Vince, we know you're selling the company. It's plain to see you're destroying the product right before our very fucking eyes.
It's like the storyline when he brought the NWO. He wanted to inject cancer into the company. And
the only cancer is your 75-year-old ass.
Yeah.
And allowing a con man named Nick Khan to be your own... I think he's got more power than Kevin Dunn now.
Maybe.
He's doing the hires and firings. He's the one he's the one that got them the Fox deal. He's the one that got them the Paramount, the Universal NBC deal.
Right.
He's the one who's probably going to be doing the sale of the company. Think about that.
Well, it's very possible. Very possible.
But it just... like I said, I watched it last night to see if there was going to be any fan backlash to Alexa. Apparently there wasn't.
Especially when she did that little vignette from the playhouse or playground,
the playground, yeah.
And then she got jumped by Piper Niven and
Dewdrop.
Yeah.
But we got spooky. It shows to me that Vince is not out of touch because he probably saw the movie Annabelle. That's where they got the doll from. The doll idea from. Yeah. From shitty horror films that somebody saw and Vince's like, oh, I like that shit.
Yeah.
That's good shit, man.
Although from what I've heard, he hardly ever watches any mainstream media. Even though
he's out of touch. He's fucking out of touch. Okay? I'm going back to the fucking Heyman promo from 2001. He's out of fucking touch.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vince. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. I never wish death upon anyone.
Oh, Jesus. Now don't go that far. Come on.
Okay? Any backlash, I always put my social media out. I'll take it, and I'll dish it back out.
Oh, Christ. Son of a bite.
Because I'm not one of these pussies that go to hide.
The comments of Chris Pilato are not necessarily those of RTC Multimedia. Especially if Mr. Burns wants to slip us a few bucks. I mean, we can... but anyway.
Well,
but,
I have nothing else to say. I can't get my words together around this old fucking fart who's destroying the things we love.
Coming from two more grumpy old farts. I mean, that's our gimmick.
And we're
that's gimmick infringement. Okay, now I'll say it. Fuck you.
Yeah, we're lifelong fans, and you're killing the things that we like.
And I think he wants to do that. I think he wants to be the heel. He's trying to live his gimmick. He wants to troll the fans. Oh, you like the Hurt Business? I'm going to break that shit up. Oh, you like Bray Wyatt and a Fiend, huh? Well, we're getting rid of that shit too.
Alexa? Yeah, we're going to shove that down your throats. Yeah. You don't want rematches? We'll give you rematches.
Yeah.
Bro, how many times are we going to see the same match every fucking week on both shows?
Even stuff that they do, we still like. We actually do like Roman Reigns. How many years did they try to shove him down the throats when people wanted Daniel Bryan? And
we have a mutual friend who works at the local rock station morning show named Justin Schlegel.
Okay.
Was in Philadelphia for the Royal Rumble the night Roman Reigns won.
Right.
He was right next to Torrey Smith from the Baltimore Ravens at the time. It was supposed to be Daniel Bryan, number 30, but when Rey Mysterio came out, they said they called out the riot police in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
We've been to Philadelphia. We've been to Philadelphia many times. You know how their fans are.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're worse than Chicago.
We saw them firsthand.
Yes.
Many times.
Many times. Not in a big arena like that, but like in small venues. But we know how they are. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. And they had to get a police escort to get out of the building because it got that bad in that building because of Roman won.
Yeah.
But now, Roman's done a little 360.
Right.
And everybody likes what Roman's doing now. He says that's all him and Heyman.
And I do. I mean, I got a thing with him. I mean, he's a leukemia survivor, which my father did not survive that, which...
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, and which last month was kind of like, was the 4th anniversary of that.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yep, and also the 1st anniversary of my mother. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Let's stop going sideways. Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
But, no, even that, it's like, he'll give us something once in a while, then he'll want to take it away. I think...
the 3-week push. The 3-week push.
Yeah.
Which, at AEW, I don't even agree Russell talk. AEW is believing in long-term storytelling and booking.
Well,
just like New Japan's doing.
I like their long-term storytelling. Not always a big fan of their booking, though.
Because there's certain guys you don't like that they're pushing.
Not only that, but even feuds that I do like. I'll give an example. What happened this past week with Chris Jericho and the drug-addicted bank robber, pizza cutter, Nick Gage.
We'll get to that in a little bit, too, because I saw the other match with him.
Okay. Well, the one... that was kind of a strange week for him. In a way, it was a good week for Nick Gage. In a way, it was a bad week for Nick Gage. Storyline, it's a bad week because he lost the championship and then he lost on national TV to Jericho. But it was a good week because he got his national exposure.
Do you want to get to that right now?
Well, yeah, let me ask you this, though. With that storyline about the labors of Jericho, my personal opinion, I think they should have saved the Nick Gage, and I'll tell you why. Until the end? Yeah, because you want to make it progressively harder, more violent. He went from having a homicidal maniac trying to kill you during a pizza commercial to, well, okay, now you have to win by a move off the top rope against a 50-something-year-old luchador, okay? And Juventud Guerrera, I mean, he's somebody I wish I could have seen live. I never had the chance to.
I think I have in WCW.
But if I was Jericho, I would be like, damn, you're showing mercy on me? All right, thanks. I mean, to go from somebody beating the crap out of you with light tubes and barbed wires and pizza cutters and whatever else you can get from Home Depot or Restaurant Depot, to somebody who, I mean, who's too old to even be in MLW to wrestle alongside La Park. But, I don't know.
Well, going on about Mr. Nick Wilson, a.k.a. Nick Gage, I happened to watch that GCW show, which Matt Cardona won the GCW World Title. Have you seen his Twitter, by the way?
Yeah.
He is trolling these fuckers like crazy. He is the master of trolling, isn't he?
I mean, what really triggered those guys is with 2 words. GCW Universe. They hate that.
They're comparing to the WWE Universe, yes. And what were the pictures of? Him and Disney World won the title.
That's awesome.
No, the other one was he had a Domino's box with a pizza cutter with him. I will give this. We may have shitted on Zack Ryder, the character in the in-ring work, but the man knows how to work the internet.
Oh, yeah.
He really did. Even going back to the YouTube
That's
stuff.
why he got
after the
buried in WWE, because he did a better job of it than they did.
Yeah. And him and his fiance are doing wonders on the internet right now.
Oh, yeah.
But I saw, like I said, I watched him and Cardona. Cardona took all the fucking shots that she gave him. I mean, did you see the post-match pictures of?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! Cardona was carved up like a motherfucker.
Oh, sure.
But did you hear what happened after the match?
What?
Garbage was thrown into the ring.
Oh yeah. There was a riot there too.
And the thing is, you have to walk through the crowds to get out.
Oh gosh.
And it was supposed to be Moxley, but Moxley I don't know why Moxley pulled out. I think he's still doing the thing with Renee Young.
Well, plus, I don't know, he's probably doing stuff with New Japan, too.
Yeah. Well, he says he's going to be at... We'll talk about Resurgence in a little bit. He's going to be at Resurgence, I think, against Tanahashi.
Yeah.
No, he's going to face Tanahashi on Dynamite.
Well, he's calling out for him there.
Yeah. But Cardona, props to you, brother. You're going to probably lose that title back to Nick Gage soon. Nick Gage losing that title. And by the way, do you know who's managing Nick Gage in GCW?
Oh.
The same man who managed him in CZW, Dewey Donovan.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Dewey's still with him.
Discount Dewey?
Discount Dewey. He's still wearing the green jacket and everything. But I think Nick losing the title was an excuse for him not to show with the belt on AEW.
Well, he didn't have to bring it there. I mean, that's...
I know how Tony is. Tony probably say, hey, if you didn't lose the belt, you can bring it out.
Oh, let me ask you this. Did Cardona bring out the belt to Impact recently?
No, and I did the Impact special that I watched Homecoming with couple of debuts, which really blew our mind. Not debuts, but we know Chelsea Green's there now.
Right.
Chelsea Green is phenomenal, and even with the broken wrist, she's still got the cast on.
Right.
And she's still, even though Ring of Honor won't clear her because it's in Maryland, you know how Maryland's State Athletic Commission is.
Yep.
Impact's being taped in Nashville, so the Tennessee State Athletic Commission is letting her go. They do whatever the hell she wants. And her finisher's the unprettier.
Okay.
Impact had their Homecoming King and Queen mixed tag tournament.
Right.
We had a debut. The former Aiden English showed up.
Right. The drama. Mentioned that in the last episode.
The drama king, and I think he's going under his real name of I got it right here, and you try to pronounce his name. It's Matthew Reinhold.
Reynolds, I think it is.
Rayhold, and a toot. Yeah. Now, I said a former world-class manager showed up. This person also managed people in NWA, WCW, UWF, and ECW. What you think about that one?
Trying to think who's still alive from World Class that would manage. I mean, the only one was...
She showed up.
The Walking Riot?
Never quiet, Missy Hyatt.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, Brian Myers was stuck for a partner, so he the doofus he's learning his student. It's like the partner. He said, "I went way back. I got Missy." Missy kept on. She had the Gucci bag with her, and she kept on saying, "I'm not a wrestler. I'm a manager." And she's in street clothes.
Okay.
And she hit Sam Beal upside the head with a fucking bag. Missy looks good for her age, I think.
She looks good. Last time I saw her, I saw her in person at a 3PW show. It was a last minute thing because I had tickets actually to see XPW, but they canceled because of a pending snowstorm.
Uh-huh.
So me and another mutual friend of ours, we went up there because Dracula's Ball was also there.
Oh.
And across the street from Dracula's Ball was the Electric Factory, which had the 3PW show. And pretty much it was an ECW reunion because you had the Walking Right Missy Hyatt, who in that card she was entered in a wet T-shirt contest.
Wasn't it the Jasmine St. Clair promotion?
Yep, Jasmine St. Clair was was feuding with Missy Hyatt and was one of the judges.
Mm-hmm.
And Missy Hyatt, despite having the crowd cheering her on, lost that wet T-shirt to Nicole Bass.
I just hate.
And I mean, I remember Raven being on that show. Sabu was on that show. I don't think they wrestled separate opponents.
Mm-hmm.
I know what was interesting. This other friend Chris and I, we were on a 2-level. The place is very similar to Hammer Jacks. If you've ever been to it, it's set up a lot like
the largest rock club on the East Coast.
Yeah, and they have kind of like a second tier around, like the main crowd area with the stage and all. Well, anyway, we were on the bottom, kind of like by the stage. Terry Funk walked past us. And a few other people saw him and started chanting, Terry, Terry. And then he just put his finger on his mouth and he said, and I even heard him say something in effect of, "You're not supposed to know that yet. You're not supposed to know I'm here, sure." And I was pointing it out.
What's up there, Sonny?
My eye.
Some of the mixed tags that were on there were very interesting.
Okay.
The one that got me, Rachel Ellering and Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, I saw them. They dressed like the Road Warriors.
Did you see the T-shirts?
Mm-hmm.
Road Warrior University. And I thought that was great. I thought that was... And you know what the finisher was? The Doomsday Device.
Nice.
And did you see Rachel, Jordan Grace, and Petey Williams? Did you see what they came out as?
No.
Little Petey Pump and Thick Mama Pump.
Oh.
They wore the chainmail headgear and the sunglasses.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You saw that. And... of course, we saw Rosemary and Crazy Steve together.
Mm-hmm.
But the winner of the tournament final was the Drama King and Deanna Perozzo.
Mm.
They got crowns and everything. From what I hate the spoiler alert. From what I heard about the tapings, Melena shows up this Thursday on Impact.
Mm.
But the upcoming show on Impact, I know we're probably going to be behind.
And also probably to pimp the NWA pay-per-view.
Yeah, I pimp out the NWA pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Which, have you heard anything else about who's going to be on this thing?
Not really.
Because we heard Allison Kay might show up.
Right. Probably Marty Bell.
They're both in Ring of Honor right now.
Right.
How would you like to see the Allure?
Okay.
With Mandy Leon and Angelina Love. Reuniting with the beautiful
I would, and I'd like to see them on a wrestling pay-per-view too.
Yeah. But, like I said, the two non-tournament matches were the matches of the night for me was Willie Mack versus Diener. Cody Diener.
Okay.
Willie Mack is phenomenal to watch. I could watch his matches all day. For a big man, he can move like a fucking like a cruiserweight.
Cool.
And we had an X Division match with Josh Alexander against Black Taurus. Alexander, they're pushing to the moon. I say by Bound for Glory, he gets the option C.
Can Black Taurus actually fit in an X Division ring?
Remember, what was it? One of the Quebecers was an X Division champion. He's that guy with the eye patch.
Yeah, we saw him in Ring of Honor.
And Abyss, PCO.
Yeah.
And Abyss was an X Division champion. Remember, it's not about weight limits; it's about no limits. It's like their open weight title.
Right.
But it's usually associated with cruiserweight guys. And the other non-tournament match was W. Morrissey against Eddie Edwards in a hardcore match. Didn't give a shit.
No.
I didn't care. It's Cass versus Eddie Edwards. I don't care about Cass.
Okay.
But the tournament was okay. I felt like anybody who got the streaming service watched another 3 hours of Impact.
Okay.
It was a standard show.
Right.
It was a standard show. Slammiversary was way better, I think.
Okay.
Seeing all the debuts. Then the next day, I watched the Tokyo Dome show.
Oh.
1,000 people only at the Tokyo Dome because of the shutdowns.
Go to war.
Yeah. You can see people on the field. You don't see anybody in the stands. And Tokyo Dome's like 60,000.
Sure, yeah. The Yomiuri Giants play there, yeah.
Yeah. We have a non-Japanese winner here. And you probably remember her name, Robbie Eagles.
Sounds familiar.
Madison Eagles' ex-husband.
Okay.
He is your new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. And Sonata and Naito of LIJ lost back to the Techers. And guess who's back in New Japan? Hitting people with forearms.
SpongeBob style, yeah.
Old man hit hard. He's been doing 6-mans with the Road Show, and the next big show is coming up, I think September 6th. I think Labor Day. That's the next big New Japan show that I'll probably watch. I don't watch any of the road shows because all of this is tag match. It's like Teddy Long booking these shows, and it's all tag matches setting up feuds.
I mean, holla, holla, holla at the player.
Yeah, in Japanese. And Tanahashi against Shingo was a classic. And when Shingo kept their world title, the lights go out. The lights come back on. Evil is in the ring.
Ah.
So Evil's the next contender. He's a mid-carder. The gimmick was he's evil.
Right, yeah.
But his skill set, he's a mid-carder at best. I don't know why they're because of the restrictions and the travel restrictions and all that.
Yeah,
they're pushing these mid-carders up,
right.
you know. But when they had a Rambo Rumble, which is a gimmick battle royal. Oh. There's only a couple ways for the KOPW trophy, which is a gimmick match trophy.
Okay.
There's several ways you can win this battle, eliminate people in this battle royal. Pinfall, submission, over the top rope, or handcuff your opponents to either the guardrails or the ropes. And Chase Owens from the Bullet Club is your new KOPW champion.
Okay.
And you wouldn't believe what belt he's got. The Texas Heavyweight title. It looks like the old world-class Texas Heavyweight title. And he said Dr. Tom Pritchard gave him that title. And Okada, Jeff Cobb was fucking great.
Okay.
You like Jeff Cobb. I like Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's a fucking monster there.
Yeah.
But the next thing I want to get to is if you want to go back to roundabout to Nick Gage, the match we saw last Wednesday. You want to talk about that, or we already covered that?
About the Nick Gage?
Yeah, Nick
Well,
Gage.
actually, there's another match from that card I want to talk to you about first.
What's that?
The 10-man tag with the...
Oh, yeah, because this is the second time you pulled the rug from underneath Adam Page.
Right.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Exactly. That's one of the main things.
Well,
as far as the booking.
That's another thing because they're waiting for Chicago all out.
And with those two, with Punk and Danielson, you're going. I mean, where's Elite Pace? He's going to get screwed unless he winds up wrestling one of those two.
Yeah, but the thing is, a debut gets a title shot right away, and they believe in this ranking system.
That ranking system, it's...
I don't even know how they do the ranking system.
They don't know how to do the ranking system. The only company I think that knows how to do the ranking system is the one we saw in Philadelphia. Because they use Bill Apter's ranking system.
Yeah. But, I wanted Dark Order to win so bad because the pose on the ring apron and the floor was fucking fantastic.
That was
iconic. That was an iconic photo right there.
And then contrast that with the Elite trying to come out, like the Space Jam or the Chicago Bulls. Good God!
And somebody talked about the botched slam dunk.
Yeah.
From Nick Jackson.
They did the spike pile driver and try to dunk a basketball while doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're threading a needle. It's like threading a needle. You can't do that. We're doing that. No. I can't wait for. We're taping this on Tuesday. I can't wait for tomorrow night to see Black and Cody. I hope Spin kicks Cody's head off.
Well, did you hear what he said after he attacked Cody? It's like people were cheering, and he said, "You hear that? They're cheering me, you dumb son." He was like taunting them with it.
Yeah,
they're cheering me.
Because Cody is getting to John Cena heat right now because Cody's getting shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
And
he's the owner of the company. Well,
he's the EVP.
He's one of the EVPs. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and he's helped running the show, and I'm hearing he's getting heat from the other Elite now.
The balding butts.
And Omega, yeah. Yeah, there's contradicting of ideas. Too many cooks spoil the soup.
Well, you know what? I would probably as much as he's getting shot down people's throats, I would give Cody the benefit of the doubt, but based on.
Out of the four, I think he's the best worker.
Yeah, definitely, and he's most experienced, and he has a family. Actually, has a family knowledge of wrestling.
He sat under the learning tree of Dusty.
I've never heard Dusty Rhodes say 69 me done, you know? Okay? I've never seen Dusty Rhodes,
Hard times!
Yeah.
Hard times!
He used the bionic elbow sparingly. He didn't use it every second like those two dipshits used the spinning kick.
Hey, Colt Cabana uses it. The bionic elbow and the flip-flop fly.
Okay. I don't mind. I have no problem with that. I mean, he does it too. I mean, it actually kind of works with him. He kind of almost does it as if it was like Curly from the Three Stooges doing it. But my point is, they don't. Young Bucks have one move. It's button mash, button mash, button mash. That's all it is.
Did you ever watch? They actually had a rare crossover. It was Bucks and Omega. A New Day at the E3 convention. Did you hear about this?
No.
They had a Street Fighter tournament.
Oh, wow.
And Omega and Kofi were neck and neck. The Bucks didn't know what the fuck to do with this.
Well, I mean, Omega's a long-time video game nerd, as is.
And the thing is, Kofi and Xavier are.
Right.
And you got to have WWE and AEW all on one stage. Mm. It's on YouTube. You got to find it. It's great. And they get to talk trash to each other the entire time. So you got Kofi and Xavier. Kofi can trash talk better.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And you've got the word crowd going, hoo, 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 hoo. Yeah. But what do you think of the Chris Jericho match as a whole?
It was pretty much what I expected it to be.
He took it. He took it.
Yeah.
I always said, you don't have a match with Nick Gage, you survive a match with Nick Gage.
Right. And God, could Nick Gage look any more of a gruesome villain? I swear to Christ.
somebody tweeted me, it's like, Nick Gage is in AEW so Britt Baker can fix his team.
Tell you what, as somebody who's saving up for dental work, I can see that, and yeah, exactly. Britt Baker, my God.
What happened to her? Did Nia hurt her again? Because her arm was in a sling last Wednesday.
I think so. Yeah, probably.
Is Nyla Rose turning into Nia Jax?
She's probably been that way. But, Chris, like I said last episode, or I said it I know I said this on a previous episode, maybe not last episode. Women's wrestling should have weight classes. MMA has weight classes for them. Women's boxing has weight classes. I mean... Like
we saw last night with
women, if you're listening, I'm sorry if you're going to be offended by weight classes. What, you think I should be a heavyweight? You think I'm fat? Well, yeah, bitch, yes I do. Because I don't want you hurting Alexa Bliss or Britt Baker or anybody who's 100 pounds less than you.
Well, look at... Going to last night with Nia Jax. Nia Jax got a little payback last time. She got busted open the hard way.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of payback, I think. Because of her hurting girls left and right.
Right.
I think Rhea did that for sure.
Mm. I didn't see how that happened, though.
I don't know. And there's video she posted on Twitter of her getting stitched up.
Right.
She got stitched up over her eye. Mm. But that's not the first person who drew color last night. Not the only person who drew color. Charlotte did through that table last night.
Yeah.
She got busted open in her back. So the girls are stepping up their game.
Yeah.
And I think the catalyst of that was the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match.
Right.
So, now that I'm hearing there may be a Queen of Deathmatch tournament coming up somewhere. Where you're going to see these girls go at it like the guys do.
Why?
Why not? Equality. Remember, who was...
Well, I mean, look, no, I don't buy that. I mean,
look at Mephisto. Look at Mephisto.
You can look at Mephisto.
Lufisto.
Okay, who gives a shit? Look, my point is this. women don't have to do everything that men do. Have you ever seen women say, hey, you know what, we want to be like Johnny Knoxville and Jackass and do their stuff? No!
Or they're practical jokers.
Because most people, men and women, aren't that fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm. But it'd be interesting to watch.
You would be interested in watching.
No, it would be a curiosity.
No, I wouldn't be curious. You tell you what, Curious George, you can watch it and sniff the glue when you're done from the fucking Ranger, all right?
Who was that? Who was the IWA woman, the heavyset girl? I forgot her name. Shit, I remember she went under the name of Moose in TNA. She worked for Ian Rotten. She actually worked in CZW.
Oh, okay. That explains a lot.
She was a hardcore girl. She did death matches. LuFisto did death matches.
Okay.
Were you there the night she took on Nick Gage, Zandig, and Lobo in Cage of Death?
No.
She did the bump off the top of the cage. She went through the partition outside the ring.
Jesus.
And this is a woman this is not long after survived a stroke.
Yeah, that's a stroke of genius on her part.
Hey, she was a crazy French Canadian. I actually sat down and talked to LuFisto. She's a real nice girl. She's pretty much semi-retired right now, and
I guess so. Yeah.
Well, she's up there in age too, so. And she's up there in Canada because she can't cross the border yet because of restrictions. Now, the next thing I want to get to, we didn't talk about the whole Jericho thing yet.
Well, okay, there's the
Would you? It was there.
Yeah,
it was there, and you even said that about Hoover. Now, there's speculation out there they may pull the Punk trunk earlier.
Yeah,
because we're seeing iterations of Jericho,
right?
Past iterations. What was one of the iterations in WWE? Jericho said he was the best in the world at what he did.
Right, exactly.
Against the best in the world.
Right.
Do you think that's going to be the flavor?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, Now, when is the actual match with MJ? It's supposed to take place at
All Out, probably.
Okay. You might see I expect to see some chicanery where the light goes out and Punk's there.
The other quinky dink I've been hearing is the band Living Color start following AEW on Twitter. When I heard that, I was like, and Darby Allin's promo.
Right.
Which, he's kind of backtracking now.
Yeah, he said he was referring to Sammy Guevara, but yeah.
Bullshit. We know who he is in Chicago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, the next thing I want to get to is Braun Strowman taking his first indie booking. He's taking an indie booking in Qatar.
Yep.
I know they're rich over there, but I didn't know they were going to pony up money for him to come over all the way out there.
Well.
And I don't know who he's facing over there.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, or is it just a meet and greet? Because I heard for meet and greets he was offering, he wanted 10,000.
It might be, I don't know, it might be a live version of the Latin Slam Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck commercial. Hassan!
Yeah, yes. But, yeah. Did you see, let's go back to Bray Wyatt, did you see Braun Strowman's tweet?
I think I did refresh it though.
He had a picture of him and those two from SummerSlam last year. It says, "Come home, brother."
Yeah.
Going back to Bray real quick. Mick Foley, you want to talk about the Mickie James response? Remember you read that?
Yeah.
She basically ripped into Vince.
Yeah.
Saying, the man you created this wonderful gimmick and you gave it to somebody else. And she continued on the next week. She says, it's not a slam against Alexa.
Right.
So don't go after Alexa. She went after Vince. She wanted her to jump out of that tweet.
Yeah.
I'm starting to love Mickie more and more.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting to love Mickie as a human being more.
She wants to stick it up Vince's ass with this NWA pay-per-view that she's booking.
And Corgan's willing to give her a shot for it too. I think,
right.
And I think Corgan. I don't know. Did Corgan and Vince ever cross paths?
Yeah. I thought I saw in an interview one. It's like he did. how he got the NWA. He originally was trying to buy Impact, but then he was talking about like with the NWA, and he said he wasn't sure if he could get it, and he said if Vince wasn't interested in the NWA, you can have it.
Vince.
That's Southern wrestling. I don't want anything to do with that.
This is my thought process, and I think you agree with this thought process. Remember how Vince was the bully and swallowed up everything in the 80s and basically drove his competition out of business in the 90s?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think they're ganging up on the bully.
Okay.
I think AEW, Impact, New Japan, and NWA, and I'll even throw in Ring of Honor, are ganging up on the bully.
Yeah.
And more power to them. More power to them.
I don't think they're doing it to fight a bully. It's just a fight for their own lives, for their own economic survival.
Because I have not watched Ring of Honor since the show me and you went to.
Right.
So I don't know.
I watched it here and there, but it's hard to tell when it's reruns, when it's current storyline, or what.
What the fuck is Danhausen?
Danhausen? I think he's supposed to be kind of like an old silent German. He looks like a cross between Count Gordeval and like a silent movie type thing.
And he refers to himself in third person?
Yes.
Danhausen.
Yes, he's Danhausen. He sounds like Billy Madison.
Oh God, please! And because I read his tweets every once in a while, and he called Renee Young Renee Hausen.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like he was like in a comic book / toy store where he was, he supposedly he paid $1 million and he's like say, it's collector's action figure. This is for free for Danhausen, right? And he's like taking all these and he said he was looking at the wrestling figures. He's like, oh, here's Malachi Blackhausen right here. I take this one too. Yeah.
But the last time I watched it, the Briscoes were the only ones that I recognize in that locker room now. Yeah. So I don't know who's in that locker room anymore. Like I did when I went to Maryland Championship Wrestling. Right.
Okay, go on with that.
I went to the MCW show. Was it called Homecoming?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Everybody's calling their shows Homecoming nowadays.
Homecoming or Outlaw Mud Show, but anyway, yeah.
But I enjoyed the show. The only name I recognized in the current roster was Ryan McBride. These are all brand new faces to me. Right. And there was a couple of kids that kind of caught my eye. The two things that stuck with me was the appearance of James Ellsworth. Oh, God. Please, God, help us. Yeah. I thought he was on a blacklist everywhere. Yeah. And the second thing, and I thought this was a beautiful thing. They had Danny McDevitt, the owner promoter of MCW. This is the first thing. Came out at the beginning of the show and said, pro wrestling was my outlet. Since I was a little kid, this is my outlet. For the last year and a half since the shutdown, we couldn't have a show. And then we lost Rick Myers. R.J. Myers, Bruiser. Okay, yeah. And matter of fact, September 17th, I'm going to promote this on this show right now. They're going to have a show called Bruiser Strong. It's Friday night. It's going to be a tribute show to the Bruiser. Okay. And I don't know, and Danny said he's putting the card together now, so I don't know what the show's going to be like. We were supposed to get Leo Rush, but there was a death in the family. He had to go down to Texas, I think, to be with the family members during this time of need. They did a meet and greet. They weren't in the ring, but they did a meet and greet with the Varsity Blondes. So Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison, and Julia Hart were there. Oh, okay. And I got to talk a little bit to Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor. Was there because him and his faction were defending the 6-man tag titles there.
Okay. You remember I gave you something to take with you there, and you really didn't. I work all these. I only had I know all these people, and you don't. I
only had a brief conversation. Really couldn't talk to them wholly because there was lines there, and people are paying to get their shit done. So
whatever.
Yeah.
Excuses. Okay.
But like I said,
the Nile's no longer a river in Egypt. All right, go ahead.
It was a good show. It's a still family friendly show. If you want to take if you want to find a show to take the kids to, I would go to an MCW show.
Right.
Danny runs a tight ship. I mean, he runs a really good tight ship, and a lot of these kids that you see in wrestling are coming from their school. I wouldn't mind going to another show again.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind going to another show again. If you want to go, let me know. Like I said,
I would like Nick Gage and tell him to bring some pizza, but anyway.
Yeah. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, Bay, is Adam Cole. Have you heard these stories today?
You told me off the air, but...
I'm going to tell you all on the air. His contract was originally supposed to be up after the Great American Bash. They extended it to the end of SummerSlam. He has not resigned. He has refused to resign. He is leaving the company. I don't know if he still owns the Adam Cole name because he was using the Indies. Or he can use his real name of Austin Jenkins. You know where he's going. Mm-hmm. Because his buddies are there, his girlfriend's there.
And he gets oral exams at least once a week.
Yeah, do you see him going there, or would you see him go to, like, maybe Impact?
What? No. He would go to All Petite.
Yeah.
Excuse me, why the fuck would he go to Impact when his girlfriend's there? Come on.
Okay, he can be a big fish in a small pond. Like he is in NXT.
Yeah.
He can have the Eddie Gilbert syndrome.
Hey, you go to NWA if he wants to do that. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. He could be...
But no, I mean, come on.
Do you think he'll flourish there?
Depends what they do with him.
Well, Brits in people's ears, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, Adam Cole is leaving the WWE probably right after SummerSlam if he hasn't re-signed yet.
What would he do there, though?
Your guess is as good as mine.
It's getting to the point. It's like, okay, that's great. You're gobbling up all these people left and right, but it's.
But you don't run house shows. You have a 2-hour show, and there's only so many people, and you have the Dark and Elevation show.
Yeah.
And there's only so much room you can put.
And the
people
YouTube
on.
shows. I mean, I'm sorry. No, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're on YouTube, but
Squash matches.
It's squash matches, and it's like these people. It's like they come on TV on TNT for the first time. It's like, oh, so and so has a 12 winning streak. Like they were talking about Velvet, okay? Yeah. And it's like every time she's on TNT, she gets her ass kicked. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And gets by Jade on that bitch, whatever the hell. You know.
Oh, Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
But Adam Cole. We've seen through the Indies. Mike Bennett put a tweet out with Matt Taven and Marie Kanellis going, why don't you come back home? Meaning Ring of Honor and Reform the Kingdom. Would you see him back in Ring of Honor?
That's a good possibility. I mean, Sinclair's got some bucks.
Yeah, Sinclair's got some bucks. And Adam Cole is a name, and he could put asses in seats.
Yeah, especially with that crowd.
Yeah. Especially the smarky, snarky crowd.
Right. I mean, NXT is basically WWE's cosplay of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But, everybody's going to say AEW. You know they're going to say AEW, but they can only bring so many people over.
Right. I mean, that's why I think...
That's everybody's wish list right now.
Right. That's why WWE is getting rid of all these people. That is one reason, besides being cheap, heartless pricks. But, you know, that's another reason.
We're not selling.
Everybody wants to be champion, but, you know, somebody has to lose matches.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, the best thing on AEW right now is God's champion Miro. I love his promos.
Miro's cool, yeah.
Miro's awesome. And this is the Miro we wanted.
Right.
This is the monster that we wanted, that Miro smash. And when her 90 days is up, you don't think she'll show up?
I hope not. God.
Because he can do good promos, but she's a better mouthpiece.
Yeah, and that's probably why she'll show up on Rise of Grin.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
But, that's another thing. Since she's not going anywhere, who do you think is going to show? I think we watched this before earlier in the show. Again, who do you think is going to show up at the NWA Women's Power? Who's not signed? Chelsea said she'll go.
Yeah.
Chelsea says she'll go. If there is a working agreement between the NWA now and Impact, like it was back.
It'll probably be a lot of their talent. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Tessa there.
I don't know.
I mean, some of the women don't like her, but I don't know if she's got any.
She blew up a lot of bridges. Rosemary?
Probably.
Maybe Sue Young?
Probably old Dirty Briscoe. Probably
Old Dirty Briscoe. Deanna's going to be there. Maybe Jordan Grace. I think half the women's locker room is like... Everybody talks about the NXT women's locker room. The women's locker room in NXT is stacked.
Yes. Yeah. And they can wrestle too.
Yeah, they can wrestle too. But, and they do have good female workers, but if they get caught up to the main roster, we all cringe. We all cringe. Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley. Who else has been called up to the main roster they haven't used properly?
Yeah. Well.
Karrion Kross.
Well, for a while, the current Raw Women's Champion was
Nikki Cross. But you want to talk about that real quick? We saw a glimpse of old Nikki last night.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw crazy Nikki again last night. We saw towards the end of that match because we saw her do her old finisher, and she had that blue look in her eye, you know.
Hey.
So hopefully, maybe she's dumping the superhero gimmick soon.
You're hoping. I don't know. I like the costume, but I like.
ASH is ASS.
No. You wish you had that ASS.
Yes.
You've been wishing you had that ASS.
It's Killian Dane's ASS.
I'm actually surprised that you don't like that gimmick, though. As much as you like women in cosplays and stuff. Yeah, come on.
Here's the thing. Somebody said on Twitter, says, "Where's Shane Helms? Why don't he show up by now?"
Right.
Because he works there. I think he still works there.
Hey, you might see him mentoring her or something. Why not come out as her manager?
Yeah, have her come out as the Hurricane.
Exactly.
Well, then again, remember the whole Rosie thing.
Superhero in training.
The shit, yeah. Dude,
you go from the ass to the shit, yeah.
The ass to the shit, yeah. But,
that's what shit, pal. Yeah.
Nikki Cross has come a long way. And they're finally giving her due, but the thing is, I see her losing at SummerSlam to the Omni Flair.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm hearing Charlotte's not happy there.
Well, especially what happened to her father recently. Sure.
Yeah. Again, a bloated roster over there, but you think she'll join her fiance?
Oh, maybe. Now, and then of course, what always happens every now and then with that women's division. Once again, Asuka disappears into the mist.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Maybe she requested for time off, just like Randy. We haven't seen Randy Orton for how long?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's just stuck playing another video game at home. Hopefully.
Oh, the other thing I didn't like last night was they put Almost in a singles match. The man's very limited of what he can do.
Yeah.
All he is big man throwing little people around.
Yeah.
That's all. And he did that to your favorite ragdoll Riddle last night.
Yes, he did.
Riddle, I will say this, Riddle bumped like a motherfucker last night.
Yeah. And he acts like he's had a few bumps on the head. But anyway.
No, he's just high. That you know it's coming. It's going to be a tag title match with Almost an AJ versus Orton. The return of Randy Orton and Riddle. Yeah. RK Bro's going to get back together. You know that's...
Yeah, and then eventually Orton's going to thankfully beat the crap out of Jason Mewes wannabe. What the fuck, man?
Oh, the one thing I want to mention on NXT, the only thing I liked about NXT last Tuesday night was the turn of Dakota Kai on Raquel Gonzalez. Did you know about that?
Yeah.
Saw it coming, right? We all saw it coming, but it was a great heel turn on a champion that's already a heel. Now she's going to be the biggest baby face in that brand.
Right.
But please don't call her up the main roster. Please don't call her up the main roster. Keep Raquel where she is because she's the monster that she is.
Right. Oh, let me ask you this. What's your opinion on what happened with SmackDown with the male title? Where they had the contract signing was supposed to be...
yeah, with Cena and all that. I didn't like it. Because
No.
Cena looked like he finger painted his name on the fucking thing.
And then before that, you know...
And you had the SmackDown Raw general managers there, Pearson, DeVille.
And also the homeless Baron Corbin, yeah.
I'm starting to love it. I'm starting to love the Baron Corbin character now.
I actually like that too, but the whole thing is like... Basically, I don't know, to me, he almost made Cena look like a heel because he was screwed over...
Baron and Finn.
Yeah. I mean, he screwed over Baron, who's supposedly like homeless and desperate and everything else. And next thing you know...
He couldn't perform because he got hit in the dick.
Yeah.
His wife and kids left him.
I mean, storyline, it's like if they ever have SmackDown at our local arena, he'll be joining the Squeezy Kids 3 blocks away. I mean...
What was that XPW guy? Homeless Jimmy?
Yeah. So it's like Cena who's in, like, trying to be like The Rock and be in every goddamn superhero and action movie, against a guy who's going homeless, and a guy who was supposed to have that title shot and got his ass beat by the homeless guy.
Well, they had a house show in Detroit Sunday night. And the main event was Cena and the Mysterios versus the Usos and Roman. And from what I heard, Cena was not very well liked there in Detroit.
Good.
I wonder why.
Let's go, Cena.
It sucks.
Yeah.
No, well, you can hear the kids counting that, and you hear the adults saying Cena sucks.
Right.
But Cena's a part timer, and he's only there for 15 shows. That's it. And he's going back to Hollywood. And the other thing was I don't like is what they're doing. Lashley, what they did last night with Goldberg. Goldberg with the weakest spear I ever saw him deliver to MVP last night. And when did Goldberg's son have that growth spurt?
The what? Oh.
They're doing comparisons of how he looked like 4 years ago to now. Because he looked like he was a little kid back then. He looks...
It's called puberty, Chris.
It's called puberty, but everyone's like blowing their minds right now.
Oh, so what? I mean, I don't know. Goldberg's old enough to be a grumpy old man.
What did he say last night? I don't care if I'm 25, 35, 45, 105. You're next! Please do not put the belt on Goldberg.
They've done it before. Why not?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not from Lashley. Come on, man.
Lashley's having the run of his life right now. And this is the man who had the run of his life in TNA when he was TNA champion. And who was his manager? MVP.
Lashley deserves to have that belt for a while. And if you're going to take it from him, make it be like a big surprise, somebody like a Lesnar or somebody. And I'm not a fan of Lesnar's being part-time, that bullshit either. But somebody legit.
The rumor going around that it was supposed to be Lesnar before Goldberg because they couldn't reach to a price with Lesnar.
So, I mean, Christ, Goldberg's around our age. I mean, the only way it could be worse is if you could have Ricky Morton challenge him for the belt and winning. I mean, come on.
Ricky Morton tweeted yesterday, says, I got released from the WWE too?
Oh, God.
Now, I want to get on to Ronda Rousey. Ronda tweeted, and she's getting a lot of heat about the tweet.
Yeah.
About the people who chanted, "We want Wyatt" last night. They're saying they're the same people who chanted, "We want beach balls" when Wyatt was out. Do you agree with her, disagree, or is she being bitter, or what?
She's being bitter. I mean, when they did that, that's when he was doing... It wasn't during the Fiend. That was when he was that stupid swamp-ass...
Cult leader,
yeah, with the fireflies.
Yeah. But Ronda's being... Remember when Conor McGregor was calling out wrestlers? Okay? Back like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was getting heat on Twitter by WWE, by Impact, by anybody in a wrestling promotion.
Right.
Ronda's getting heat from everywhere about this now.
Yeah.
She deserves it because she left the company.
Yeah.
That women's division was built around her.
Mm-hmm.
And she only lasted a year.
Yeah.
And they were building around Becky and waiting for Becky to come back. And now I'm hearing it's going to be October.
Yeah.
So they'll probably build that up for Survivor Series. Yeah, Brand versus Brand. I wonder who's going to be the champion by then. Woo!
Yeah. Whatever.
Now, the last thing I want to cover is the other Rio, the girl that took on Sheeta in the end of her tournament.
Greenland.
What was her last name? Mizunami? Rio Mizunami?
Yeah.
She just got out of the hospital from COVID. She had pneumonia. I don't know if does she just work for Yoshi Promotions or does she work for Stardom? Do you know anything about that?
I thought it was with Yoshi.
Yes. There's other Yoshi Promotions out there.
Because they had that one girl who was like the singing idol or something.
Yeah, yeah. I've only heard she's coming back.
Yeah.
I heard she's coming back.
Of course he is. Omega's horny, you know.
Yeah. Then this broke today. Kyoko Inyoni, who is the owner promoter of Women's Pro Wrestling Diana, also came down with COVID. She's been in contact with other Yoshi girls from other promotions. They have to cancel shows. I have not heard anything about Stardom yet.
Well, hopefully they come through this and, you know, heal quickly, and hopefully, you know, Japan can get that stuff under control.
Well, I heard there's only a 15% vaccination rate in Japan last time I checked. But when I going back to the Tokyo Dome, seeing how empty it was.
Yeah.
It was an eye-opener a little bit. Mm-hmm. And again, everybody's masking up, and they told them basically don't go out of control with the chants and the crowd noise. Mm-hmm. And they were if you know anything about the Japanese culture, they will respect whatever's been told of them.
Right.
But I can't wait for this shit to be done because, what'd you think of the third Tongan that came out, the giant guy? What was his name? Leo?
Who fought Archer?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What'd you think of him?
That was a good match.
If I remember correctly, that's Leo Tonga from, he was the third gorilla in Gorillas of Destiny.
Right.
And Sin Haku.
Yeah.
Was it you or somebody else going, he's going to bite somebody's nose off?
It's legend. He did.
Yeah.
He did it actually here in Baltimore. He did it at the Safari Club.
Yep.
Well, it's BWI Airport, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But Sin Haku, and the music he came out to was the Gorillas of Destiny music. Mm-hmm. They're in California.
Yeah.
Resurgence is coming. Do you want to talk about Resurgence a little bit? New Japan Strong is the Los Angeles-based New Japan branch.
Yeah.
They are going to have a show either at the LA Coliseum or at the Staples Center.
Right.
They're bringing some New Japan talent over, but they're going to have Archer defend the U.S. title, the IWGP title there against Hiroshi Tanahashi. I've seen their matches together. Mm-hmm. Fucking awesome matches. Tanahashi is the ace of New Japan.
Right.
The so-called ace. I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it. And
of course you are.
Deanna Purrazzo, Triple Mania is coming up in a couple weeks also. Triple Mania is going to have Kenny versus Andrade for the Triple Mania, for the Mega title.
Right.
Do you think that's going to tear the house down?
Down in Mexico?
In Mexico City, yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
And their women's champion, Apache something, I forgot her name, is putting the title on the line against the Impact Knockouts champion, title to title, against Deanna Purrazzo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Apache Chief since the Super Friends years ago.
Apache Fala Apache or Apache Fala or something like that. And she's a Mexican wrestler. She's a luchador.
Cool.
And the Lucha Brothers are going to be down there, and I forgot who they're taking on. I looked at the card, and half the card I don't recognize because I don't follow AAA that much.
Right.
But you forget who's booking AAA.
Conan?
Vampiro.
Oh, Vampiro, that's
A
right.
Canadian is booking a Mexican show.
But he's been down there long enough. He knows.
Yeah. And Conan, what do you think of Conan's being on AEW? Just being there?
Just being there. I mean...
Because that's basically LAX right there.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know. His promos are kind of meh. And, I mean, the whole way they introduced him, he was DJing in one of the club boxes of the Jaguars.
Well, we saw him.
Yeah, we saw him in Philadelphia, yeah.
With the new LAX.
Well, I mean, he's been in MLW for a while. And he's been more promo. He was actually against my favorite Aztec Sacrifice victim, you know. He had a feud going for a while.
Alicia Toot. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said last episode, she was so hot you actually learned it. She made you pronounce her name correctly.
Yes.
You were going with a loop, a toot, a hoot, all kind of dumb
I
shit.
watched some of her interviews. The best interview you gotta watch, and it's funny to watch, is Rosemary. And Rosemary's totally in gimmick the entire time.
Yeah.
It's a Sue Young interview. Sue Young's in gimmick gear.
Right.
But she's talking like Sue Young, the wife of Rich Swann.
Gotcha.
And it's a good interview. It's a really good interview.
I think I saw that one, actually.
The other good interviewer, and I did a deep dive on this guy's YouTube channel, was Chris Van Vliet.
He's good. I like his work.
He's even had contracted WWE names on his show.
He's had a lot of them on there, actually.
I watched the Bailey Sasha Banks one, which was really good, and he had the Usos. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe he got Cena.
Well, he must have got the Usos at happy hour and Cena. You know,
I think they did that during the cricket promotional thing a few years back. Yeah, when Bailey and Sasha were doing the cricket thing.
Gotcha.
But like I said, if you're looking for interviews, Alicia Toot and Chris Van Vliet are the two best ones out there. I think they're doing. And I want to talk to you off air about something I got in my head. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, especially after you talk. I don't know if I want to after what you just said with the two. Put that thing away. Man.
I think it's a good idea. What else you want to talk about before we head out?
Trying to think. Well, we covered all that stuff. Oh, well, let's see. Well, I'll probably watch NWA Power after we get off.
I'll probably watch it this weekend.
Yeah. So, what do you think about their championship series so far?
And again, it reeks of AW and of AWA.
Although I think it's interesting that the teams have a mix of baby faces and heels working together. And
they had the same thing in AWA.
Right, but I mean, having like the two managers, it's kind of, I don't know.
And I heard Austin Idol's actually going to get in the ring.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah. How old is he?
Probably in his 70s. I mean, he fought Lawler, so, I mean, back
he shaved Lawler.
Yeah.
Him and Tommy Rich and Heyman.
When Heyman was like, I don't know, 22 years old or something.
Not even that, probably.
Yeah.
But, my sister walked in on me watching SmackDown. And
Jesus Christ.
No.
Really?
No, she saw Heyman. And she said, I'm glad he cut off the ponytail.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But, I'm looking forward to another indie show. I wouldn't mind going to another indie show somewhere around. I'm actually thinking about going to Bruiser Strong. It's up to you if you want to tag along.
All right. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Well, anything else?
No, say your social said nobody gives a shit about.
Christopher James Filato on Facebook and then C. Filato at Twitter, you pussies.
And follow us on RTC Multimedia on Twitter as well as on YouTube. So, folks, thanks again for listening. We're going to have some pizza and some
chocolate milk.
No, you had enough chocolate milk. In fact, oh my God. In fact, let me get the Febreze. All right. All right.
See ya.